history tells us there's no evidence to suggest that that's going to change unless we protect wetlands. In my humble opinion, we should be aligning with the science first, and then once we have that set, then decide how do we use water responsibly within that context.
This video says hood-wearing Fetterman gives his cringiest Senate performance yet. And when I see hood-wearing, I ain't got no issue with that. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't have an issue with somebody rocking a hood to these stuck-up meetings that everybody's got on suits and looking all prim and proper. I don't have an issue with somebody being a disruptor and doing things a different way. I like to wear hoodies. I rock a hoodie in a minute. I wear a hoodie to one of the meetings quick. I'm not going to shave off my mustache and then put on that suit and tie every single day and minute and second to go sit down with these cats. The other thing is, I don't even think he takes his job that seriously anyway. Probably has something to do with the stroke. But we're about to check this out too, just to see what it looked like, because it says cringiest Senate performance yet. So I'm about to see for my daggone self if it's the cringiest Senate performance yet.
I believe clean water is cool, and we need it. And I think that's kind of our job to make sure we want to protect that as well too. And it's truly bizarre to me personally that anybody would attack the kind of legislation that has been a demonstrative kind of dramatic kind of.
Senator Fetterman, good to see you. Welcome. You recognize.
Thank you, Senator. Chairman, hi, welcome. Thank you for coming today. Just kind of set the stage here. Pennsylvania, Dr. Sullivan, how do wetlands
What in the world is a meat puppet? What is a meat puppet? I'm sorry, I'm talking about my guy bad intro. He said I feel bad for that man. He's not mentally functional, and he's not a mentally functional individual, and people are using him as a meat puppet. What is a meat puppet?
in Pennsylvania impact our drinking water?
Wetlands in Pennsylvania and everywhere are critical in purifying water. And they do actually have three really important pieces to that. They trap sediment, so they remove sediment.
Oh, a meat puppet. The same way that they're doing Joe Biden right now. They know that he's not mentally capable of doing anything, so they're using their own influence and they're just manipulating the hell out of him at this moment. Okay, I got you. I'm on it.
Sediment out of the water. They remove nutrients, so nitrogen, phosphorus, those types of nutrients, and they detox the water. So they take chemicals out. In doing that, they reduce a huge expense to the taxpayer of purifying water.
That is a different name. Mazika Patricio Sullivan. Mazika Patricio Sullivan. All right. Okay. That's different. That's definitely different.
So they do that in Pennsylvania. Absolutely. They do that across the country. And they do that in a way that is 24/7. They work full time.
So because of the wetland, that is an impact on clean water, right?
Correct.
Gosh, I find clean water useful often. It's remarkable.
Well, I can say in all my years, I've never.
I think it's
Bro, did he say I find clean water useful often? All right. Might be a side effect of the thing that happened to him. Maybe he finds clean water useful. All right.
I support clean water.
Obviously.
So we have the situation here. The Supreme Court believes that unlimited money is speech, and they believe that women's in this nation aren't entitled to reproductive freedom. And now they attack the Clean Water Act as well too. Again, the shocking opinion that clean water might be useful to Americans. Now, do you believe that this is now based on the politics, or is it because of a very...
I mean, no disrespect. I mean, no disrespect to this guy, Fetterman. I mean, absolutely, guys, I mean no disrespect with what I'm about to say. He sounds like what I would sound like as a senator. Someone who don't know a damn thing about none of them bills, none of them laws. I'm trying to figure it out right there on the fly. Like, okay. At least do your homework. If you know that you're going to have someone there talking about this topic, this subject matter, at least his people should get him studied up. He should be ready. He should have notes. They shouldn't send him out there butt naked, because right now he really looked like he's trying to figure it out right there on the spot. It's like going to take your SATs and you did not study, or your PSATs. I don't know where you are, but trying to take a big test and you have no clue of what's on that test. And you're like, okay, I like math. Math is useful. I guess I can figure this out. There's unlimited math. Math goes to infinity and beyond. That's what he sounds like. He sounds like he's trying to figure it out right now. And it makes him look like a joke.
A careful, thorough, scientific kind of review.
Sackett got the science all wrong. And that's what I can say. The science is crystal clear. It's not confusing, right? The chemical, physical, biological integrity, which is the goal of the Clean Water Act, of downstream and downslope waters, is relies on wetlands, and so it's virtually impossible to restore and maintain the health of waters and uphold the primary goal of the Clean Water Act while only protecting adjoining waters.
Now, look, I'm no scientist. Our friends in Fox News don't even think I should be a senator, but
it's not only your friends in Fox News, but he pointed y'all out. He's saying Republicans don't believe that he should be a senator.
To me personally, it just seems like it's really kind of an extreme, right-wing kind of deregulation, obsessed that the Supreme Court, and I believe that it puts Pennsylvania's drink water at risk. Could you explain that to me as a non-scientist?
Explain how it puts it at risk?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So removing wetlands, removing streams from the landscape. Now I understand they're not protected. And people are saying that, well, just because they're not protected, there are other mechanisms potentially that are there. But history tells us a very different story. We arrived at a place where we had already lost 50% more of our wetlands across the country. It's only through legislation like the Clean Water Act that we actually
more than 50%. I want to read more than 50% of our critical wetlands.
More than 50% of wetlands have been lost historically. That rate continued until the Clean Water Act, until legislation came that then started to slow down wetland loss. And so, unfortunately, history tells us there's no evidence to suggest that that's going to change unless we protect wetlands, set the standard for protection nationally and across the floor. So I think that's really critical. And I would say too that the U.S. public agrees. There's a poll in the New York Times that 72% of American adults believe the Clean Water Act should be read broadly to include wetlands and not only major streams, rivers, and lakes.
I believe clean water is cool, and we need it. And I think that's kind of our job to make sure we want to protect that as well too. And it's truly bizarre to me personally that anybody would attack the kind of legislation that has been a demonstrative kind of dramatic kind of change in our water quality, right?
This is painful because he's saying filler. He's just saying sentences that it's not letting us know that he understands exactly what he's talking about. Clean water is cool, and I don't get why people are attacking or why people are doing this, that, and the other. You can say the same exact thing on any other topic. You can talk about cars. You can talk about child trafficking. You can talk about, you're not going to say child trafficking is cool, but you can say child trafficking is horrible. I can't believe that blah, 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 blah. The war in Israel right now is horrible. I can't believe that blah, 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 blah. The war in Ukraine is horrible. I can't believe that blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's like he's not really saying enough to let us know that he has a full grasp of the entirety. The Clean Water Act. Now he's there to be over it, and it has to go through him. I believe that the gentleman what's his name, Mazika Patricio, should probably be the guy that should be on his side of the table. And Fetterman should be the gentleman that's coming to report something from his day-to-day job to someone who actually knows what the hell they're talking about. All I'm saying is, I don't believe that Fetterman understands what he's talking about. I don't believe that he even wants to. I believe he's bored. I believe that this whole conversation bores him and he's not taking the Clean Water Act seriously at all. But it very well could be because of his stroke. Now,
is that accurate?
I know it's absolutely accurate. And can I add one small piece there? Is that, I think as we think about these, and I brought this up earlier, are we asking the right questions? In my humble opinion, we should be aligning with the science first. And then once we have that set, then decide how do we use water responsibly within that context.
Fetterman don't give a damn about nothing you talking about.
So wait, you're,
See, I
so
told
you're
you
suggesting that we follow the science?
I am absolutely suggesting that we follow the
Lunacy.
science.
Lunacy.
Just like when we go to the physician, we want them to follow the best medicine
Okay,
for our
well,
health.
anyway, thank you for joining, and I apologize for going over, Chairman. Thank you.
All right, so he added a bit of humor, personality into it. Like, can't believe we got to follow the science, the lunacy. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Thank you so much for that one, Dad. That was pretty cool, and I appreciate you giving me that one because it did give me something to chuckle at.